Hi. I know it's kind of cold where you are today, so I want to read you a really short little book. And it's called The Primary of Trump. There are 6 chapters, and the first chapter is the Trump Trinity. Chapter 2 is his Southern and Northern strategy. Chapter 3 is I. That's about him. Chapter 4 is about women and the press. Chapter 5 is about the cult of Trump. Now, this man is very famous for that hair. So you'll notice he'll have this beautiful picture of his hair. And the first chapter is Trump Trinity. Now, when this man first started running, he was so used to just, running the show that it took him days to figure out. And in the meantime, before he got his plan down, he would go, excuse me, oh, excuse me. But he soon found out that people didn't respond exactly like he wanted them to, so he started calling them losers. A loser. Well, now, as a young man and an old man and any man, they have 525 billion sperms per life. Now, I wonder if that's where he got his billions from, because he would know losers. That was the case. Now, Donald is kind of, you have to be careful with him because he doesn't get it right off the bat. So I used some things in the Wendig, S-T-U-P-I-D. I didn't want to say it straight up to him, but that says stupid. But he kept on going, and he goes to the Southern and Northern strategy. Oh, he is good. I mean, this man is good. In the North, he has 4 bankruptcies and hundreds of jobs that he lost for other people. He says, I have never asked God for forgiveness. Now, to make it even worse, he says he would threaten the Pope with ISIS to do whatever he wanted him to do. Well, that's what he does up north, but let's go down to the Mason-Dixon line. And Donald is there, and he starts out with, "Aw, shucks, I'm the best job creator God has ever made. I know how Billy Graham felt." And if you look right here, yep, see that? It says, "Gotcha, boys." He doesn't know any of those things. He just is stupid. Now, Sue, is this his girlfriend? No, this is his solution for problems. He goes, "My game is Sue. That's how I get things done." Speaking of I, we're now on the I chapter. Donald says, "I am a hater or dictator." I don't know if there's a difference, but you know how it is. Now, this man says, "I am going to take my balls and leave." Wah. Anytime something goes wrong, that's what he threatens to do. Can you imagine him as president? Now, his standard fallback position to protect himself is, "I said so." Like, let me tell you a difference. Like, refugees we normally think of as people who left home because of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, and economics. Now, Donald says illegal immigrants are people who left home because of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, and economics. There's no difference between these two. Poor boy. He's had to deal with women and the press. Oh, whoa. You know what his claim to fame is? I can deal. First things out of his mouth was, I can't deal with this. That's what he was talking about with women and answering questions for the press. Remember his fallback? Gotcha. When I get upset, I can nod my head and you disappear. Now, isn't that amazing? How does he do that? Well, he gets his bodyguards to grab those people and throw them out. I call you names, women. You're unprofessional. You're bimbos. You've got blood out of your eyes. You've got blood out of wherever. Excuse me? You're fat pigs. You're dogs. You're disgusting animals. You're slobs. And most recently, he discovered that women pee. Poor little Donald. The world is so hard on him. Now, I've already mentioned this before. When the press gets around Donald and they ask him some questions and he feels really, really cornered, he goes, I'm not answering those gotcha questions. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Now, what that means is that's Trump talk speak for I am stupid. Remember those winged innies? So now that's what he's really saying. The cult of Trump says, I am second to God. First book, Bible, chant. Second book, Art of the Deal, chant. First book, Bible, second book, Art of the Deal. First book, Bible, second book, Art of the Deal. First book, Bible, second book, Art of the Deal. Now, what does that Bible stuff mean to him? It means believe me. And what does the art of the deal mean? It means buy me. And it says, I'm coming up in the polls. And I am coming is from the Bible, and up in the polls is selling his book, Art of the Deals. Now we're going to get to some really, really hard times for our boy Donald. He was in school and military service. Gotta listen close now. I mean, this is really, it's very sad, very, very sad. When he looked at his schoolwork, he said, I look at myself in first grade, and I look at myself now, and I'm basically the same. Oh my goodness. He was an egotistical, rich bully. And look at this. See that right there on the left? That's the little big Donald. And over here is the big little Donald. And the little big Donald is a rich, egotistical bully. And oh my gosh, he's right. The big little is a rich, egotistical bully. Now, for all those men and women who've served our country, you gotta look up to Donald. His military service is something that I hope none of you have had to go through. He had to make his bed every day. He had to take a shower. He brushed his teeth. He dressed in a uniform. And he wore shiny boots. Look at those boots. He ate 3 hot meals and a snack. He went to class to study U.S. wars. He saluted the flag. He slept in the United States, and he woke up in the United States. There were no POWs. There were no wounds. There was no PTSD. There was no leave the United States. There was no death. Now, is this the same military service as those that were in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, Beirut, Grenada, Persian Gulf, Somalia, Bosnia, Yugoslavia? Hell no. Donald's was really, really hard. And now he talks about, he's a deal maker. And just recently, we finally were able, after Ronald Reagan and his Iran-Contra deal, to settle down with a real opportunity to discuss things with Iran. And here is Donald telling you how he would have done this, and it's to the beat of a tap dance, okay? He goes, Iran nuclear deal, I deal, I clear deal, I clear deal, I clear deal. Iran nuclear deal, Iran nuclear deal, clear Iran you deal, that's how I deal. But as much as Donald tries and tries and tries, he doesn't understand the differences in people. So he does this so he'll probably get an idea. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And after he saw that disabled reporter and made fun of him, poor little Carly, he said, look at that face. Well, you know why he could do that? Because he says, I am the fairest of them all. Look at that face in the mirror. Isn't it beautiful? What I've learned with Donald, and we all need to look at really close, is his flip and his flop. One point, he wanted guns restricted. Now, guns are A-OK. He wanted to legalize drugs. And now, no, drugs are bad. Hillary was terrific. Hillary's terrible. Obamacare good. Obamacare bad. Abortion rights, okay. Abortion wrong. Muslim immigrants, yes. Muslim immigrants, no. He's an on-flip, on-flop, on-flip, on-flop, and he wants you to believe that he's sure of everything and every decision he makes. Now, all of this was in good fun. But the most serious thing that we have to consider about this man, gentlemen, listen now, is his fixation on his daughter and publicly makes statements about he would like to date her, that she is so sexy. She is beautiful. And he says, this is a joke. This is not a joke. As a former first grade school teacher, if I had ever had a child come in and tell me that her father publicly said he'd like to have sex with her, I would have called the police or the sheriff and had him locked up. This is not a joke. This is who he is. He is an egotistical pervert. All the other stuff I could live with, but this is something that we cannot have him do to our children and our country, is to think that it's okay for a father to say those things to and about his daughter. I would urge you to go on YouTube and see him on the television shows and the radio talking about his daughter. It's very sad.